Hey team, I'm so excited. We have Jenn Hawkins with us today. She's going to share her story. She's going to give you some nuggets to take away. Y'all, we are so blessed by this lady right here. If it was not for her, we may not have been even in Plexus. And so I'm just honored to have her on our call today. And I'm excited to listen to her as she shares her heart. Her genuine spirit is so obvious in what she's going to say. So grab a pen, paper, and get ready to dive into some great note taking.
Christine, thank you. Thank you so much. I know you guys are going to be watching the recording, so many of you are hard at work right now, and I have been there. I have done all that, and there's no way I could have logged on middle of a day, but now I'm here in this quiet office. My husband's over there eating his lunch, so you might hear something in the background. But Christine, I just first have to say how much I adore you. I love the way you love on your team, and you are, when I think of you, I think of gratitude, and you're always turning it back to your team and how grateful you are, and grateful to the Lord and your team for where you are. And none of us would be where we are without the Lord's favor, the Lord's blessing, and then our amazing team. So I see that in you, and I so appreciate that about you. Well, I will start and tell you guys my story. First of all, I need to kind of apologize. I told Christine earlier when I messaged her, I said that is it okay that I have on, I'm just messy bun, maybe a little bit greasy hair, and she said it was okay. So I hope that's okay with you guys. But when I see myself, I'm like, ah! But anyhow, well, 4.5 years ago-ish, May of 2012, I was desperate to lose the last 20 pounds of baby weight. So when I came across Plexus on my Facebook newsfeed, I was really only interested in the health part, the helping me get rid of that weight. So when I inquired, my sponsor, Erin Harrison, she approached me about the business, and I was like, no, that's not for me. I don't do those things. And she said, well, hear me out. And she told me some things like I didn't have to carry inventory. It was only going to be like $35 more than what I was going to spend on products with her anyways. But here was the kicker for me. She said we didn't host parties, we weren't a party driven company. And so that was the one thing that held me back from anything like this, because I didn't want to parties. I didn't want to pressure my friends to host parties. That was the big thing. I didn't want to pressure my friends to host parties. I didn't want to be away on evenings. I wanted to put my babies to bed most nights. I didn't want to be away from my family night after night. So when she said that, I was like, okay, I'll do the ambassador thing. And then if I love the products, then maybe I'll work the business, but really only to pay for my products. Because my husband, he's a very fiscally responsible man, sitting over there. And he says, if you are going to do this long term, you're going to at least have to make enough to cover the cost of your products. So I'm like, well, okay, if I love them, then I know I can at least do that. So 3 weeks in, fell in love with the Plexus products, was down some weight, feeling great, and kicked my Diet Dr. Pepper habit on day one. And I started sharing with some friends and family, and posted on Facebook middle of June of 2012. So that first paycheck that came in July was a little less than $500. And you guys, that was when the light bulb for both of us kicked on. We were like, this could change everything. And our everything was not what Plexus has actually done for our family, but rather just that I could be a stay-at-home mom. When Plexus found me, I was actually looking for a way to supplement our income from home. In fact, I had been making these ruler growth charts that you hang on the wall to track your kids' growth. I had made a few, and I'd sold a couple. And I was trying to do the math of how many I could make and sell them on Etsy. So I was trying to figure out a way to make $1,000 a month. And that wasn't going to work. I was going to be making growth charts all day, 7 days a week. And you can't do that and be a stay-at-home mom. So it was a bad idea. So when that first paycheck came, we were like, this could be it. This could be that way to that $1,000 a month so I can be a stay-at-home mom. We knew we wanted to have more babies. My daughter was 1 year at the time. And I didn't want to put all my children in daycare and have someone else raise my babies. I didn't want to miss those first steps. I didn't want to miss all that. So we were in, and about 4 months in, I was making $1,000 a month, ended up quitting my job. Though 7 months later, I just turned gold in December of 2012, quit my job in January of 2013. And then here's where I can fast forward you a little bit to this on the story. January of 2013, I quit my job, and then fast forward a year, January of 2014, we were able to pay off $50,000 of student loans. Just like that, one payment done, both of our student loans paid off. And that was such a huge burden off of our shoulders. I know that many of you know what that feels like, that burden of debt, and with Plexus and time and effort, that freedom is within reach for you as well. Then fast forwarded about another year, February of 2015, my husband, he's sitting over there. He doesn't always hear this stuff, so it's kind of weird. But he could see that our future was putting our attention into our this business that can change our family's financial future for generations. And then our legacy, our true legacy, is our kids, and that we can both be home together, focusing on them and spending time with them. And what a treasure that is. And he saw that, and he walked away from a really great job. And so we could do that and partner in raising our children and partner in this business. So, and then, gosh, that was February of 2015, and it's just been so amazing since. And we are just so grateful and so blessed by the Lord and bringing Plexus to us and the amazing team. But I will still say, I like to wrap up my story by giving you two of my favorite parts of this journey, unexpected blessings of this journey. One is kind of what Christine was talking about, that having just even a tiny part in thousands of people's stories, whether it's through health issues, freedom from health issues, or financial freedom, or just to be able to make ends meet, just taking that burden off. And that brings me so much joy and fills my cup to know that I have a tiny part in that story that God is writing for people's lives. And then my other favorite part is when you're blessed, you can be a blessing. And we've been blessed abundantly, so we have been able to give abundantly. And it's just the whole journey is blown away my wildest dreams. And that part is certainly the forefront of my mind. So anyhow, that is my story, maybe not in a nutshell, but I was talking to Christine this morning, and I asked her if there's anything particular she wanted me to talk about. And she said, just pick something you're passionate about. So I got to my office this morning, and I was getting into my personal growth stuff. And at this point in my life, really, I'm doing more personal growth than ever. I mean, it's taken me a long time on this journey, on this Plexus journey, to really, see the value in personal growth. So I want to talk to you guys about the law of the mirror today. And I specifically chose the law of the mirror when it comes to growth, because in some ways you will hear often, activity, action is what moves your business forward. Activity, I think Carrie Wilkerson said it from stage at Leaders Retreat. Activity is what moves the needle in your business. And all of that is so true. But still, I think people get stuck. They get stuck in that action, that activity piece because of fear. And fear can come from a lot of different places. But I think that people are fearful, and the root of that fear often comes from their mindset and their self-value and how they see themselves. So I want to talk about the law of the mirror today, because if we can break this cycle, and if we can value ourselves and add value to ourselves, then the activity and the action that we need to do that really propels our business forward will come more naturally. So Um, okay, I made a bunch of notes. I'm totally I make my notes because I go a ramble, so I try to stay on track. So I might look down a lot because I don't want to go into rabbit trails, and I've already have a little bit already. So John Maxwell, in his Law of the Mirror chapter, he talks about steps to build your self-image. And the first thing he says is you need to guard your self-talk. And, we've talked about these positive affirmations and what to say when you talk to yourself and those kind of things. But I want you to be really conscious of the ongoing conversation you're having in your mind. What are the things you're telling yourself? Do you beat yourself up when you make a mistake? Or is your reaction, man, you know what? That's an opportunity for me to learn, for me to grow, for me to do better next time. Are you a cheerleader or do you beat yourself up? Number 2, stop comparing. I'm going to use Carrie Wilkerson's verbiage. Stop it. Stop comparing. I can't remember. There was another leader that told me they said that they believe that comparison is the biggest thing that holds people back in their journey, is comparing to others. When you 99%, there's only this teensy bit of comparison that could be healthy, and that's the kind of comparison that drives you, that motivates you, and you see someone that's done what you want to do, and that motivates you to do that same thing. But most of the time, it discourages you. So the only person that you should be comparing yourself is to you. And John Maxwell talks about that you look at each day and you say, I'm going to be better than I was yesterday. And if every single day you're growing and you're getting better, then you can look back at the you weeks ago, months ago, years ago, and you're like, wow, I've come a really long way. But when you just compare yourself to you, we also will compare ourselves to other people's ends of their journey. We compare our beginning or our middles to someone else's end. Well, that's not fair to you. That's not fair at all. Christine, Kelly, they started as ambassadors. Then they were a senior ambassador. Then they were a silver ambassador. Then they had 20, 30, 40 points, pushing for gold, 50, 60. I got to get to gold. I got to get to gold. They were there too. I was there too. We were all there. We didn't just sign up and overnight we're diamonds. We have been through the struggles that you've been through. We have done, I know Christine worked hard as a kindergarten teacher doing this business on the side. She did that for I don't know how long, a year, probably 2 years, 1 year before you quit. So we have been there doing everything that you're doing. So don't look at us at the end of where we've become and say, I can't get there, because we have been where you've been. We've walked where you walk. Yes, if let it drive you. Do not let it hold you back. Only compare yourself to you. Okay, I spent a lot of time on that one. That's why I have notes. See, number 3, move beyond your limiting beliefs. There's those sayings, and you see, if you believe you can, you're right. If you believe you can't, you're right. Or the one that we see a lot on Rank Promotion Graphics, she believes she could, so she did. You have to believe you can before you can. A quote in the book, Charles Schwab says, when a man, I'm adding, or a woman, has put a limit on what he will do, he has put a limit on what he can do. So what do you believe you can and will do? Do you believe that you will be a diamond? And if you believe you will, then you can. Don't limit yourself in your belief of what you can do. He also says it is not what holds you back. It's what you think you're not. So it all starts with who you believe you are, what you believe that you can do. Number 4 is add value to others. Alec talks about this a lot. When you're blessed, be a blessing. And I love when he throws in, often we think about being a blessing mostly financially to people. And whenever we're blessed, we can give back. But I love how he adds that piece that take the focus off yourself and focus on serving others. Don't focus on your bad day. How can you brighten someone else's day? When you do that, you instantly feel better about yourself. And when you feel better, you act better. And that brings self-value and self-worth. Number 5, do the right thing even when it's the hard thing. When you do something wrong that isn't ethical or that is not the right decision, then that brings guilt, it brings shame, or it brings making excuses for that bad behavior. And that is going to dampen your self-value and your self-worth. John Maxwell says, every time you take action that builds your character, you become a stronger person. The harder the task, the greater the character builder. So do the right thing and you'll instantly feel better about yourself. Number 6, practice a small discipline daily in a specific area of your life. So think about what your biggest struggles are. Is it with your business? Is it with that activity or that action? Is it with your family? Is it with your spouse? A relationship? Is it with healthy eating habits? Whatever you pick a struggle and do something positive, a daily discipline that will help turn those struggles into a strength. John says, discipline is a morale booster. So when you do something that's disciplined every single day, you'll instantly feel better about yourself as well. I have a note in here that says, talk to Kelly or Christine about the R in Brad. If they have not talked to you about the R in Brad, let them share with you about the R in Brad. The R in Brad is life-changing, and it has been life-changing for me already. So I'll let them do that if they haven't already. It's really good stuff. Number 7, celebrate small victories. I want you to think about after you've done something good, maybe you went out of your comfort zone and talked to someone new. Do you walk away from that? God, I should have said this. I should have said that. Man, I didn't have any samples. Man, oh gosh. And do you beat yourself up? Or do you say, wow, that was really awesome. I'm going to do that. If I'm that much closer to meeting my goal. I'm that much closer to where I'm comfortable talking to more people. So even the little things that you do, celebrate those and congratulate yourself. Don't beat yourself up about the how you could have done it better. Okay, number 8, embrace a positive vision for your life based on what you value. So this to me screamed a lot of what we talk about with your why and in your vision. So I wrote here, the value parallels your why. Vision is also where you're going. I think there are 3 parts of this. There's your why, which is your vision, kind of what it is is driving you. Your value is that, your why, what it is that's driving you, what are your core values. Your vision is where you're going. Then you have the part in between, that's your day-to-day, the how, and that action. Well, the in-between doesn't matter if your why isn't big enough or if you don't know where you're going. So know those 2 end pieces, and the why you can fill in the rest there. Let's see. Okay, number 9, practice the 1-word strategy. He says if you could pick 1 word for yourself, what would it be? And if this isn't what best describes you, and if this is not a positive word, you got to go back to the drawing board and pick something positive about yourself. You're pulling forth your greatest strength, the thing that kind of at your core makes you the best you can be. And when you focus on that, you will flourish it even more. I want you to, if you can pull out that word, think about this should be my brand. This is who I am. I want when others think about me to think about this word. I want them to think about gratitude. I want them to think about service. I want them to think about positivity. What is it about you that's your greatest asset? Okay, number 10, take responsibility for your life. Oh gosh, this can be hard. We have to stop the blame game. I blame my upline. My upline doesn't do enough for me. My downline, I can't get my downline to work. I don't have any workers. I don't have any runners. I'm too busy. There's too much going on in my life. Stop it. Stop it. Stop blaming and stop making excuses. Stop blaming your circumstances and take responsibility. Your success or your failure is on you. So take responsibility to start making these changes daily. Starts with your mind, believing in yourself, pouring into yourself. You can't give what you don't have. So take responsibility, take the steps to make these changes. And your business and your productivity, your action, those things that moves the needle in your business, those will follow. Those habits will follow. Okay, so that was 10. And John leaves us in this chapter with a challenge. So I'm going to leave you guys with a similar challenge here. The first challenge is to make a list of your best personal qualities. I'm not talking about 1 or 2 or 3. He says, and this will take some time, don't stop making this list until you have come up with 100 positive qualities about yourself. 100. I know. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, so you are going to have to start thinking highly of yourself and to come up with 100 lists. I'm like, I don't know, this is going to be hard for me to do as well, but 100 qualities. If he is challenging you to do 100, we have 100 positive qualities about us. And so then with your list, then pick out pick out your one word. When I talked about that one word, what is that? And flourish that, grow that, make that your brand, make that be what people think of when they think of you. And I think this also goes along with, this is a whole nother topic. It's another law, that law of magnetism. You attract who you are. And so if you are making a list, you're drawing out these positive qualities about yourself, that's who you're going to attract to your team. That's who you're going to attract as customers. So if you're focusing on the negative, the bad, you're not adding that value to yourself, then that's what you're going to attract to your business. So starts with you. That who you bring into your business starts with who you are. So let's focus on the 100 things. Let's get there. Let's all make a list of 100 qualities of reasons why we're awesome. Okay. Number 2 on the challenge is the self-talk. There's an app on this. If you haven't heard about it, it's called Repeat It Again. Positive affirmations. So if you will take time to note what are the lies you're telling yourself? I'm not influential. People don't like to talk to me. I'm not good with people. I'm scared to talk to people. What will people think of me? You have to counteract those lies with positive truths and those affirmations. So this app, Repeat It Again, talk in the first person. I am influential. People love me. People love talking to me. What I say matters. People want to listen to me. Things like that. Do that and then play those again. Listen to those positive affirmations a couple of times a day. Listen to them on the way to work. I know it seems kind of strange, but it really works. I've heard a lot of people doing this, and I haven't done this yet. I'm scared my husband will think I'm a total weirdo, but he says too late. I want to get like the little earbuds, to listen to myself saying those positive affirmations when I go to sleep. Huge. So that's challenge number 2. And then the third one that he leaves us with is to add value to others. But then there's something very specific here. And this was new. I had not heard this yet. In a way that we tithe and give, we're commanded to give of our first fruits, that 10%. What if we took 10% of our time? So John's example was, if you work a 40-hour work week, take 10%, take 4 hours a week and focus on serving others. So make it a tangible discipline that you are adding value to others, and it's just part of your routine, part of your life, part of your week. So those things will let you see that value in yourself, so you can add value to yourself. And all of that is starting a cycle that will not only create production in your business to help you get to that vision where you want to be, but it'll make you the best you that you can be along the way. So that's all I got. I hope that was,
wow.
I don't even know how long that was, but
it was inspiring. I took 3 pages of notes. It was totally inspiring. And here, Jen doesn't know I'm going to do this, but I'm going to tell you, like, if I had to pick a word to describe her, like the way that I know her, we don't have like a super close relationship yet, but that's on my list. I would describe her as gracious. She is one of the most gracious people that you will ever meet. And when I first became a Jewel, we went to convention. It was my first big event after I became Emerald. And we were at this Jules breakfast, and I only knew Susie McCall. Like, that was it. I knew no one. She came across the room to talk to me, made me feel like $1 million. She's never in a hurry. She does not make you feel like she's rushing because she's got to get to all these other people. She always makes you feel just like she cares about you, loves you. She takes time to know you and talk to you. She's one of the only Jules that knew how to pronounce my name. Everybody else called me Kristen, like, for a year. And she took time to know that. She took time to comment. She probably doesn't even realize how big this was. But when I was a Senior Ruby, she commented on my Senior Ruby announcement and talked about how she knew I was so grateful and I was such a gracious person. And what was funny is that I've always thought of her that way. And so just those little things that she has done over the course of our relationship has just, it's been so amazing. And so what I've learned from her is to always take time with people, always to spend time making them feel important, because some people are really insecure. I was really insecure as a brand new Jewel. Not insecure anymore, y'all. Pretty confident. But she did that for me. And so I thank you for that. I thank you for what you've given to my team today. They are inspired. I know that they're going to be taking a ton of notes, and now they have assignments given to them by you. So awesome. I just appreciate you taking time. I know you're a busy mama and you've got a million things to do with a bajillion people on your team. So thank you for taking time for my team today and pouring into us, just your genuine love and care for us and for our team. So I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. Now that you're about to make me cry, I'm like, leave meeting.
No, so sweet. So thank you. I won't keep you any longer. I know you need to get to a million other things today, but you've blessed me so much. So I know this is just going to bless my team. So I really, really appreciate it.
You're welcome.